If you're looking for a new all-terrain vehicle, it doesn't get much better than trucks like the Ford F-150 Raptor. Vehicles like this may be the peak of what you can get from the factory in the civilian world, but when it comes to military vehicles, an F-150 Raptor can barely hold a candle when it comes to the true heavy-duty all-terrain monsters, namely tanks. With tanks having existed for over a century now, plenty of them have become outdated and relegated to surplus. If their armament is disabled, these now surplus tanks can be sold to private civilians. The new Ford F-150 Raptor has a base price of $53,455 and can be optioned to over $60,000, so with that in mind, these 10 real-life tanks can be purchased by civilians for less than, or around the same amount of money. 10. FV4201 Chieftain Mbt. An evolution of the legendary 1940s Centurion main battle tank, the Chieftain Mbt is a 55-ton British monster from the 60s. Introduced in 1966, the Chieftain was among the most advanced tanks of its time, and saw prolific use throughout the Cold War, including major fighting during the Iran-Iraq War. Replaced by even more advanced tanks like the Challenger Mbt. Chieftains were formally retired from the British Army in 1995 and can be purchased for as low as $23,000 in restoration-ready condition, or around $64,000 in good working order. 9. Alvis CVR-T Sabre. While not the typical monster you'd expect a tank to be, the Alvis Sabre was built for reconnaissance with the British Army and is still an impressively powerful machine. Living a short service life with the British, the Sabre was introduced in 1995 as an amalgamation of the previous Alvis Fox and Scorpion CVR-TS of similar design. Despite having an impressive top speed of over 50 miles per hour and a powerful 30mm cannon, the Alvis Sabre was retired in 2004. Because of this short service life, Alvis Sabres can be readily found in near pristine condition for just $48,000. 8. T-55. A prolific Soviet medium tank, the T-55 saw service throughout the Cold War and had one of the largest production runs of any tank with over 85,000 built in both T-54 and T-55 forms. Introduced in 1958. The T-55 built upon the design of the previous T-54, and lessons learned from vintage predecessors like the T-34. With a massive production run, T-55 seconds were used in most conflicts of the Cold War with their powerful cannon and advanced protection systems. Thanks to its widespread production, T-55 seconds can be found in excellent working condition for just $65,000. 7. 2S3 Acacia. While technically not a true tank, the 2S3 Acacia is what's known as a self-propelled gun and is a monstrous armored mobile artillery platform from the Soviet Union. Introduced into Soviet Army service in 1971, the 2S3 Acacia was developed as a direct response to similarly massive American Springs introduced at the time. With a weight of 27.5 tons, a 152mm howitzer cannon, and bulletproof armor, the 2S3 Acacia is an impressive beast that is still in military service today. Despite discontinued service, you can buy your own running and driving Acacia for $61,000. 6. 2S1 Vozdika. Fulfilling a similar purpose to the Acacia, the Vozdika is another powerful Soviet-made howitzer-armed spring which entered service in 1972. While similar in purpose, the 2S1 Vozdika is the smaller brother to the 2S3 Acacia, using a 120mm howitzer instead of the monstrous 152mm cannon found on the 2S3. Aside from the design, the 2S1 is further set apart by its fully amphibious capabilities which let it traverse lakes, using its tracks to propel it through the water. All in all, an awesome machine. You can buy your very own 2S1 for around $35,000. 5. BMP-1. a type of tank known as an infantry fighting vehicle. The Soviet BMP-1 was designed around carrying troops to the battlefield, laying down fire against enemy lines with its turret, and acting as cover for infantry with its armor. Introduced in 1966, the BMP-1 saw prolific service with the Soviet Union and its allies thanks to its great speed and versatility in combat. Part of this versatility was due to its ease of modification, leading to many BMP-1 variants being produced across its widespread production. An awesome wedge-shaped beast, this BMP can be yours for $65,000. 4. BTR-60. Fulfilling a similar role to AFs like the BMP-1, the BTR-60 is an armored personnel carrier (APC) that was designed to transport troops into battle and provide support with its armor and weaponry. Though designed more around transport than providing fire support in mind, the BTR-60 is still a beast of a machine and saw widespread use as a workhorse of the Soviet Army and their allies. First produced in 1960, the BTR-60 can be fitted with several turret-mounted weapons, and carry up to 16 people across all terrain, even across water, with its amphibious capabilities. Whether you want one as the ultimate off-road vehicle for a weekend on the trails, or as a piece of military history, BTR-60s are a great deal with prices for good working examples as low as $19,500. 3. Alvis Striker FV-102. Similar to the Alvis Sabre, the Alvis Striker is a British-designed and built light armored vehicle designed with speed and maneuverability in mind. Designed as an anti-tank guided missile (ATGM) carrier, the Alvis Striker's purpose was to hunt and take down enemy tanks as swiftly as possible. Entering service in 1976, the Alvis Striker saw service with the British Army up until 2005, when smaller infantry-carried ATGM systems became advanced enough to do the same job. A rather unique doorstop-shaped missile tank, a good working condition Alvis Striker can be yours for $48,000. 2. Tatra SHKHVZ.77 Dana. Built on top of a fairly normal Tatra 815 military truck, the SKKHVZ.77 Dana completely transforms the truck into a full-on monster of an armored spring. Equipped with a massive 152 mm howitzer and downright sinister looks. Designed and made for the Czech Army, the VZ-77 Dana was introduced in 1981 as a fast and maneuverable artillery platform. Capable of reaching speeds of around 50 miles per hour, and outfitted all around with bulletproof armor, the VZ-77 is massively powerful, and one of the most menacing-looking military vehicles you can buy. You can buy one for $59,000. 1. 2K12 Cube SAM. Unlike the other armored vehicles on this list, the 2K12 Cube is a surface-to-air (SAM) missile carrier designed around fighting incoming enemy aircraft rather than battles with ground forces. The Cube entered Soviet Army service in 1967 as the next generation of SAM systems. Capable of carrying and launching a battery of long-range 1-second 91 anti-air missiles, the 2K12 Cube wreaked havoc on NATO aircraft throughout the Cold War. While an advanced system during the late 60s and 70s, 2K12 Cubes are now long outdated, and you can buy a working example for $22,000. That's all. Thanks for watching. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, so you won't miss a lot of new cool and interesting videos. Bye.